How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Eric and this is my garage. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace a fuel pump on a 2003 Kia Sorento. Now, this process that I'm going to show you is going to apply to the years from 2003 all the way up to 2006. So I hope you found this video helpful. The issue that I'm having with this Kia Sorento is that whenever we leave the vehicle parked overnight and we go the next day to turn it on, it doesn't turn on right away. And I believe it has to be the fuel pump because I've switched out the relays for the fuel pump and I've pretty much checked everything else. So the only thing left to do is basically to replace the fuel pump. So let me go ahead and show you guys pretty much what it does. So that's not a very big delay, but it gets worse sometimes. And it's not the crank sensor, it's not the camshaft sensor, because I've already replaced these on this car. So let's go ahead and replace the fuel pump. I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump with a used unit. Now, I'm only doing this just because I'm not 100% sure that the fuel pump is bad. And this is a very cheap and pretty much a good way to, narrow down what could be going on with your vehicle. This only costed me about 20 bucks, so if anything, we learned something new in this video. So let me go ahead and show you guys where this is located on the vehicle. The fuel pump is located on the passenger side rear seat of this vehicle. Go ahead and look for a small strap in between the seats. Go ahead and pull that towards you and it should lift up the seat, giving you access to the fuel pump cover right here. Pull the cover aside and it's going to give you access to 4 Phillips screws that you need to remove. So there's one right here, one over here, and the last one over here. Go ahead and loosen those up and remove them, and then you're going to get this cover out of the way. Use a small flathead to pry the metal cover out of the way. Be careful with the electrical connections because they're still connected. Go ahead and use a small flathead to unclip these connectors. I ended up getting a little bit sick, so I wasn't able to finish the video, but today I decided to go ahead and continue. That's why the video looks a little bit different from the last time you guys saw. But we're just finishing up right here, removing the clips and this hose right here. We'll set that off to the side. To remove the fuel lines on a 2003 through 2004 Kia Sorento, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver. The newer models from 2005 and 2006 are not going to have this style of connection, so you're going to need a fuel line connector detachment tool, which I don't have. Luckily for me, I don't need it for this specific connection. All you need to do is just go ahead and get a flathead and push down on the connection and then pop the connector out just like so. With the 2 fuel lines disconnected, now you can go ahead and remove the Phillips screws that are holding down the fuel pump to the fuel tank. Now that you have removed all of the Phillips screws holding down the fuel pump to the fuel tank, we're going to go ahead and remove it. When you guys are removing this, you want to have something to put the fuel pump in because it's going to have a lot of fuel in it still, especially if your fuel tank is full, which is the case with this vehicle. Also, when you're removing the fuel pump, you want to be careful with the fuel floater, the floater that reads the level of fuel that you have remaining. So you're going to wiggle it out slowly. So as you guys can tell, this floater does get in the way, so just be careful and take your time when you're removing it. The only thing that we're going to transfer from the old pump is going to be the floater sensor right here. The reason we're doing this is because when we first got this vehicle, that was the first thing we replaced, because it wasn't reading the fuel accurately. So all that you need to do to remove this is just pop this clip in here, and then the floater sensor should pop out. And we're going to transfer this on to the replacement fuel pump. So we'll take that out and then just go ahead and disconnect it from the connection right here. I have the replacement fuel pump right here, so we're just going to go ahead and transfer these guys over. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the connection right here. Install the replacement. Go ahead and connect the connection. Now that our fuel pump is pretty much ready to go back inside, we're going to go ahead and install it. We're going to go ahead and try to do it at an angle so that we don't damage the floater right here. So we're going to get that part in first. Move the hoses out of the way. Try to turn it here. We're going to slowly drop it in place. Now that we have the fuel pump back in, we're going to go ahead and just fasten it down with the Phillips screws that came off. With the fuel pump in, go ahead and install the hose that we removed, along with all of the connections. And also don't forget your fuel lines. Put your cover back on. Before you put everything back on though, you might want to double check to see if the replacement fuel pump is working. We're going to go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so I did go ahead and put everything back together. Now the last thing is to go ahead and connect the battery and try to turn on the vehicle. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try to turn it on. Alright, this is pretty much going to wrap up the video. If you guys found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.